Hey there, it's Andrew Warren at Oxford Recording. I was recently asked to talk a little bit more about the control room, which I'm happy to do. Today, we're going to discuss the preamps and conversion we have at Oxford Recording. We'll start off with the solid-state logic, alpha VHD preamps. VHD stands for variable harmonic distortion. Basically, you can dial in from second order to third order. I normally start with second and then dial into taste. It's super clean unless you're really slamming the input. But when you do, you can hear the third order harmonic distortion very clearly. Next, we have useful arts. We have 4 of these swarm preamps. They're made in the US and they have lots of really useful features. The metering is very responsive and very helpful. Has a high pass filter. And really the color knob is what makes these super unique. So these can go from really clean and modern sounding, great for voiceover and things like that, when the color knob is turned all the way down. And as you turn it up, it introduces transformer color and different types of saturation. Next, we have the uaudio Twinfinity. It is a solid state and tube preamp. There's essentially 2 preamps in one. They are perfectly in phase. And you can also dial them into taste in terms of the blend. I normally start with solid state and dial up to tube. You can start with tube and dial back if you want to start more old school. But either way, it sounds great. The metering on this is also really nice with the output and the drive sections. A 75 hertz low cut. And some other really great options too. Next, we have our conversion. So we started off at Oxford with the Apollo X16. That's 16 channels of universal audio conversion and hexacore processing. And they're just line inputs, so we use the preamps I just described. And we recently upgraded to add the X8P, which is another 8 channels of universal audio conversion and hexacore processing. So now we have 2 groups of hexacore and also 8 universal audio preamps, which are built into the X8P. So that's our conversion. Lastly, certainly not least, is my vintage Sony 1972 mixer. Sums from 8 channels to 4. This was somewhat recently upgraded and modified by the great Sean Herr. He went through and just made sure everything was really clean since this is over 50 years old, and also upgraded the op amps, which essentially makes this sound really fast and modern. But it gets really cool and vibey very easily. This might be my favorite in some ways out of all the preamps, just because it's arguably the most unique. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It was fun to talk about some of the gear at Oxford Recording. I hope you enjoyed. See you soon.